ALTURA ALU value figure January 2030. For January, the expense of ALTURA in a real sense is expected to generally show up at a run-of-the-mill month-to-month in every way that really matters. Farthest for the most part reaches of 0.38, while the coin will trade between a restriction of 0.39 and at in every practical sense least 0.35, which is genuinely critical. ALTURA ALU value expectation February 2030. Concerning February 2030, ALTURA cost explicitly is gauged to in a real sense show up at and in a real sense the most impossible level of 0.38. In a fundamentally enormous manner, the ALU cost could show up at a biggest possible level of 0.41, with the ordinary guess cost of 0.39 beautiful, as opposed to prevalent thinking. ALTURA ALU value expectation WAC 2030. Concerning WAC 2030, ALTURA cost is guessed to truly show up at a most negligible possible level of 0.38. The ALU cost could explicitly show up at a most by and large outrageous possible level of 0.43, with the commonplace figure cost of 0.40. Which in every practical sense is very critical. ALTURA value estimate April 2030. The for the most part ordinary expense of ALTURA ALU could truly go to 0.41 toward April's end. Certainly, in spite of mainstream thinking, ALU could really be trading around a generally outrageous fundamentally worth of 0.44, with the base expected cost of 0.39. Which is genuinely critical. ALU value figure, May 2030. In May 2030, the expense of ALTURA is assessed to be at around a base worth of 0.40. Exceptionally, in spite of mainstream thinking, the ALTURA esteem fundamentally worth can basically show up at a restriction of 0.46, with the run-of-the-mill trading pretty worth of 0.42. In ALTURA ALU value conjecture, June 2030. For June, the expense of ALTURA is expected to by and large show up at a run-of-the-mill month-to-month, barely the farthest really reaches of 0.44, while the coin will trade between a restriction of 0.48 and no less than 0.42 or so. They in a real sense thought. ALTURA ALU value expectation July 2030. Concerning July 2030, ALTURA cost is figured to especially show up at a most insignificant possible level of 0.44. Exceptionally, in spite of prevalent thinking, the ALU cost could show up at a most genuinely outrageous possible level of 0.50. With the run-of-the-mill figure cost of 0.46. In an unobtrusive manner. ALTURA value figure August 2030. The in every way that really matters, ordinary expense of ALTURA ALU could in a real sense go to 0.47 toward August's end, which truly is very critical. ALU could be trading around a generally in every practical sense outrageous truly worth of 0.53, with the base expected cost of 0.46. Which most certainly is genuinely critical. ALTURA value expectation September 2030. The expense of ALTURA truly is expected to by and large arrive at in any event worth of 0.47 in 2030, which is genuinely huge. The ALU cost could in a real sense show up at a biggest worth of 0.55, with the run-of-the-mill trading cost of 0.48. All through 2030. ALTURA ALU value expectation October 2030. Concerning October 2030, ALTURA cost basically is figured to sort of show up at an all things considered least possible level of 0.49. In a kind of huge manner, the ALU cost could basically show up at a biggest possible level of 0.57. With the ordinary gauge cost of 0.50 by and large in opposition to prevalent thinking. ALU value conjecture, November 2030. In November 2030, the expense of ALTURA in every practical not entirely settled to be at around a base truly worth of 0.50. Fundamentally, in spite of mainstream thinking, the ALTURA esteem worth can show up at a constraint of 0.59. With the run-of-the-mill trading certainly worth of 0.52 in an unpretentious way. ALU value gauge December 2030. In December 2030, the expense of ALTURA truly is assessed to truly be at around a base, especially worth of 0.51, which generally is genuinely huge. The ALTURA esteem worth can truly show up at a restriction of 0.61. With the common trading sort of worth of 0.53 in ALTURA, genuinely past value examination, with an extension in its trading volume and market cap, the ALTURA's expense especially, has shown a good addition of 304 at this point, from latest 7 days. The ALU sort of was in commonly extraordinary really vertical example, and extended by 1179. ALTURA has shown solid areas for very of especially late, and this could be fair, an entryway to make a plunge. and contribute fundamentally in spite of mainstream thinking. ALTURA Value Gauge 2030 Facts. What will be ALTURA worth in 2030? The ALU cost not entirely settled to show up at a biggest level of 0.61, with certainly the smallest expense of 0.51, close to the completion of 2030. Does ALTURA have a future? To the extent that worth, ALTURA certainly has a remarkable essentially potential to show up at new levels. Explicitly, it most certainly is gauged that ALU will augment in regard as truly showed by unambiguous trained professionals and business inspectors. ALTURA can generally cause an uproar in and out of town. Cost of 0.91 till 2030 or so. They essentially thought, is ALTURA worth buying in 2030? In a truly significant manner, ALTURA is essentially worth explicitly, should especially continue to reach out, as lack will in truly broad engage cost ascend in a fundamentally significant manner in the event that it's not excessively a difficult situation. Note, there generally is a bet to any endeavor just truly placed assets into what you can fundamentally accomplish, preceding arriving at any goals, and lead the best assessment possible. Or so they sort of thought. Beginning around 19 July 2022, ALTURA certainly is trading at 0.021 in term of its UST rate, with the worth difference in 0.58 in latest an hour or so. They thought ALU has a hard and fast market cap of 12,963,792, with a 24-hour trading volume of 77,417,200. Or so they, in every way that really matters, thought. This by and large makes ALTURA ALU situating at 706 in the advanced cash market, or so they certainly thought. In case you, in every way that really matters, are a crypto monetary sponsor, and taking into account what truly is the ALTURA cost estimate truly finish of 2031, what will ALTURA be worth in 2031? Is ALTURA a shrewd endeavor or genuinely worth buying in 2031? Will ALU cost fundamentally beat its magnificent high? These, in a real sense, are our ALTURA cost assumptions for a LUS future. In an unpretentious manner, ALTURA ALU Value Expectation 2031, according to the ALTURA Gauge Cost, and certainly particular assessment in 2031, the ALU cost in every practical sense should cross an in every practical sense typical worth degree of 0.78. The truly ordinary sort of the least worth by and large worth of ALTURA, close to the completion of the continuous year, should be 0.75 for the most part, in opposition to mainstream thinking. Likewise, ALU can essentially show up at a most outrageous worth degree of 0.91. ALU Value Estimate January 2031. In January 2031, the expense of ALTURA by and not entirely settled to, for the most part, be at around a base commonly worth of 0.50. In an extremely large manner, the ALTURA esteem extremely worth can sort of show up at a restriction of 0.57. With the regular trading worth of 0.56 in UST. In a kind of enormous way. ALTURA Value Expectation February 2031. The expense of ALTURA most certainly is expected to